Welcome to Backpage Blues. You've been asking for it for ages and we've finally got it together and here it is. It's a big one, I think, because there's a lot going on, isn't there? This Diego Costa business, the Chinese thing coming in, potential replacements. I think Thomas Muller has been suggested. This doesn't fill me with any sort of joy. This really, really troubles me. So I thought the only thing I can do, I need my fears to be alleviated. So I got the big man in. Charlie, tell me, Diego Costa is not going to China.
I don't think he is. I'm getting all misty-eyed. It's been far too long since we've done this.
It really has.
I don't think he is at all. In fact, Roman Abramovich has sent like a personal message to Antonio Conte and Costa saying that he wants this sorted out. He wants his situation resolved.
Abramovich is waiting in.
Yeah. He needs these differences to be buried under the hatchet, and everyone carries on as normal. Look, it's perfectly obvious that the Diego Costa situation is the biggest thing around Chelsea at the minute, and it certainly needs to be resolved as we go further into the season.
It's terrible, isn't it? It's such a bad thing to happen. It's so typical that everything's going so well. You know, we had a blip at Tottenham, we got back to winning ways at Leicester, but just before we kicked off against Leicester, everybody in the pub, you know, we were up there. It was a really good. It was a really good day, but everybody was really troubled by this news because I might be being extreme here. In fact, do me a favour. Will you comment below and let me know if I've got this right? I actually think that our title aspirations are completely linked, directly linked, to Diego Costa staying at Chelsea and crucially being happy at Chelsea.
Yeah, now this is in Costa's personality. We know he wasn't that happy last summer, like he wanted to leave, like he wanted to go back to Madrid. I think you're right. I think, you know, the makeup of the squad dictates that we need Costa very, very badly.
Just think how many points he's won us. His goals alone have won us so many points.
And not just that, the way he links up with the team in general, his link up with Hazard on that side is our main attacking threat. So it's
Give me a glance.
Yeah, they did mine. Yeah. That is Chelsea's main attacking threat, Hazard and Costa, and you're right. It's completely crucial that we have him. It's quite clear that Batshuayi isn't the answer for Conte at the minute. So it's we can't go into the second half of the season without Costa, but I really don't think we will. Like I said, Abramovich has stepped into this situation personally. He was happy, obviously very happy with the way the club was running during the winning streak and how well Costa was playing. So he wants this sorted out. The club believe this can be sorted out.
The fact that Abramovich has waded in shows quite how big a deal this could be, though. If it goes wrong, it's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Costa actually turned down a £200,000 a week offer from Chelsea.
200 a week?
Yeah. His agent wants some work. He actually turned that offer down, which was a very good contract for a player of his age. And he has got this offer from China, which is like stupid money, like $575,000 a week. I mean, by the way, there's any YouTube channels in China that want to pay me that. You can.
Yeah.
I'll come and do Backpage Blues over there. But yeah, look, this situation I feel will be resolved, and it does not end.
Okay.
At least in January with Diego Costa going to China.
That's good news. So what am I'm reading reports now. Thomas Muller.
Well,
the striker who doesn't like being called a striker but loves scoring goals.
Yeah.
Quite limited ability, but seems to score bundles of goals.
Yeah, he's been a fantastic player over the last 5 years. He's had a bit of a difficult season at Bayern. I think we've seen some of these reports in Germany. I think, obviously, if Costa were to leave in that hypothetical scenario, Chelsea need to buy an absolute top-level striker. Thomas Muller is he's almost the only one who hasn't had a good season, really. I mean, Chelsea would need to buy a world-level player.
Yes.
And he hasn't had the best time at Bayern, and that would kind of be a natural fit, but at the minute, it's just very much just reports at this stage.
Okay. So, another thing that keeps getting a lot of mileage, you know, the press really are giving this rumour a lot of oxygen, is Fernando Llorente.
Yeah, well, look, I think if Llorente were to come to Chelsea, and I've had a lot of messages about this, like people saying he's not good enough, like, that would very much be as a backup. This is not a cost replacement. In fact, if anything, I think it would probably be a replacement if Batshuayi were to go on loan.
Right.
Which is
there's some talk that it could go the other way. Batshuayi could go to Swansea.
Could go to Swansea. West Ham are interested in Batshuayi should their various deals for strikers fall through. He's clearly had a bit of a difficult time at Chelsea. He's not. He would see himself as the second choice striker when he's clearly not. Obviously, the second option for Conte that we've seen in the Boxing Day game and the Leicester is to play.
How do you feel about Llorente? Because for me, I think that what Llorente would bring is the opportunity to play the same system. So, we didn't have Costa the other day, and it worked brilliantly. I think that the three who played up there did it so well. They interchange. It's so difficult to play with them, and when it works really well.
Yeah.
However, sometimes you need the options go long. Sometimes you need a target man, and taking Costa out of that team, you don't have another one.
No.
So Llorente coming in, of course, he's not going to do the job as well as Costa, but the fact that he can do the job and allow the team to maintain the same shape, it's quite a good option for Antonio Conte to have.
My feeling on this deal...
Do you agree with that? I mean, I don't necessarily think this is a good move, but I can see the merits in it.
Yeah, look, this deal would be completely risk-free for Chelsea. It would be to the end of the season. It's a player that Conte's worked with before at Juventus to great success, and it's clearly a Conte-driven thing, and I think he's earned the right to do that. So, I mean, more power to him. If he sees that as a viable alternative rather than a first-choice thing, then I think he's earned the right to do that. Whether Llorente goes on to become one of our great strikers, I can't particularly see it.
These deals,
let's face it, we've had some right old rubbish as well.
But you see, these deals, they can often actually be really beneficial. Like, do you remember when Manchester United signed Henrik Larsson?
Yeah.
Henrik Larsson was, coming towards the end of his career. He turned up. He scored some very, very vital and valuable goals.
He was good.
And they're the goals that can actually propel you to the league title. You get someone in, he could nick 4 goals. Those 4 goals secure you 10 points, and those 10 points see you
like my argument with title-winning teams. They always have that striker come on and score 5 goals. Rami did it in for Chelsea before. We don't have that striker at the minute. I mean, I'd like to see Batshuayi that striker, but it seems like he's suffering a little bit of a confidence crisis. Conte clearly doesn't seem as the go-to man in the event that Costa's not playing. I think it's an area where we're light, and I think Llorente would be, a reasonable deal.
Okay. Right, it's time for the Q&A. Thank you so much for getting your questions in. I'm going to make a start. By the way, if you want us to answer your question in the next edition of this, make sure that you comment your question below, and we could be answering it next week. Right, I'm going to make a start. The first question in is from a dear friend of mine. His name is Saunders Says. Check out his YouTube channel.
Yeah, I know.
He has asked, he hasn't even asked a question. What he said, keep your hands off Mikel Antonio. Is there anything in this?
Yeah, there is. I mean, look, he's been on Chelsea's wanted list since the summer. Really, it's a story that's come out again in January. Conte and the Chelsea hierarchy have identified him as someone that could potentially play the Victor Moses role. Maybe not instead of Victor Moses, but just to give the squad a little bit more depth.
Yeah.
He is obviously that sort of player. He's up and down the whole time. For me,
what about that hat trick of assists he got the other day? That's impressive, isn't it?
Fantastic. He's a great player to watch. I struggle to convince myself he's Chelsea quality, just in terms.
Do you think it can happen though? I think Saunders' question was more: is it going to happen?
I know for a fact Chelsea are interested in it. And clearly, all disrespect to West Ham, absolutely intended. Clearly, that's a move the player would want to make. So, from that point of view, it could happen. Okay.
Our next question in comes from Little Adam, CFC Ed.
Yes.
He just wants to know, Charlie. I know we need to get him involved very soon. He wants to know: are we going to win the league?
Oh, it's always on my case that point. Touch wood. Yeah, I think we will. I think we will. The last weekend's results put us in a fantastic position. 7 points clear. 2 huge games coming up against Liverpool and Arsenal. But
if we're still top after Arsenal, it's in the bag, isn't it?
I'm going to start looking at different brands of champagne.
Yeah, absolutely. And our last question has been from a lot of you, and the question has been, are we going to do more fan cams? The answer is yes. This Sunday, after the whole game, Sophie will be doing her vlog, but what she's going to do is also do a little compilation video of fan cams, because so many of you have been asking for them. Obviously, we always say this to you, we want to do what you guys want. So she's going to be doing a few fan cams. So if you want to talk to her, make sure that you give her a message on Twitter, find out where she'll be, and the compilation video will be up. So, when are you going to put the compilation video?
ASAP.
ASAP, she says. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video.
Hi everyone, I'm here, don't worry.
You can't just throw a bottle in the shop.
This is why we relegated her to behind the camera.
But we will, thank you. Oh, what a shame. Sorry, you just interrupted my flow. Thank you so much for watching this video. Really hope you enjoyed it. And get your questions in, we could be answering them next week.
Can't.